A bench trial today for a Providence police officer charged with assault. The whole incident caught on camera. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Brian Yacono. 35-year-old Jeann Lugo is accused of punching a woman during a rally at the State House. 12 News reporter Alexandra Leslie is tracking that case. She joins us live from outside court tonight with the latest developments.
Well, Brian, since this is a bench trial, there's no jury, meaning that a judge will render a decision on his own. And today, that woman, Jennifer Rourke, was cross-examined. The court was also shown multiple videos from different angles, trying to picture what exactly happened on that night. Now, Rourke explained that when hundreds of people gathered at the State House to condemn the Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe v. Wade, it started as a peaceful protest, but then a verbal altercation involving other people started to change that. A 6-minute video shows Rourke amid a crowd and a man identified as Josh Mello. Rourke says that Mello was making statements and recording the crowd in an effort to agitate people. Rourke says she and others tried to de-escalate the situation, trying to get him to leave, and at some point, another man starts throwing punches. Then, video shows Lugo allegedly striking Rourke twice on the left side of her face. Rourke says at the time she did not realize the man who hit her was Lugo, her opponent for a state Senate seat. He has since dropped out of that race. Now, in cross-examination, Lugo's lawyer Dan Griffin presented how much money Rourke raised for her campaign in the first 2 quarters of this year and pointed out how much was raised following the incident. The state later questions Rourke about that. Take a listen.
And it would surprise you to learn that your campaign raised over $20,000 from June 25th to June 30th, which is filed in your filings?
It would surprise me, sir.
That would surprise you?
Yes.
Okay. So you're denying that you made that much money in 5 days?
No, I'm not denying it. I did not enter my campaign finances, so I have a treasurer, so my treasurer does that.
Okay. But what you just read is accurate, correct?
Right.
Okay. So you went from $7,000 one quarter to well over $20,000 the second quarter, right?
You wouldn't just take a punch in the face for some campaign donations.
Objection. I'll let her answer that.
No, ma'am.
Now, as far as Lugo's police job goes, Providence Police Department placed him on paid administrative leave, and the chief did also recommend he be terminated. But Lugo can't be fired outright because he is protected by the Law Enforcement Officer's Bill of Rights, or LEOBOR. Lugo's lawyer previously told 12 News his client requested a LEOBOR hearing, which will take place sometime after this criminal case is adjudicated. Lugo's lawyer also requested today that this case be dismissed and that his client be acquitted of the simple assault and disorderly conduct charges that he is facing. Now, the judge did rule to drop the disorderly conduct charge, but did not make a decision on the entire case. Lawyers will meet next week to pick the next date for when this trial can resume. Meantime, Lugo and Rourke declined to comment when they left court today. Live in Providence, Alexandra Leslie, 12 News.
First at 5, the bench trial for a Providence police officer accused of simple assault will be back before a judge next week. Thanks for joining us. I'm Shannon Heggie.
I'm Mike Montecalvo. A district court judge did rule, however, to drop one of the charges against Jeann Lugo, who's accused of punching a woman at a State House rally while off duty back in June. 12 News reporter Alexandra Leslie was in court all day. Alex, what did the judge say about the evidence that was presented so far?
Mike and Shannon, that evidence came in the form of various videos, all showing different angles of that night. Jeann Lugo was charged with simple assault and disorderly conduct as a result, but when this trial is picked back up, he will only be facing that assault charge. District Court Judge Terrence Houlihan says video evidence does appear to show that 35-year-old Jeann Lugo assaulted Jennifer Rourke on the night of an abortion rights rally in June.
One of the punches to the court was particularly punishing. I saw what looked like a right hook right to Ms. Rourke's left cheek.
At the time of the alleged assault, Rourke and Lugo were both vying for the same state Senate seats, Rourke a Democrat and Lugo a Republican. Lugo has since dropped out amid the allegations. His attorney, Dan Griffin, called for the entire case to be dismissed and that his client be acquitted of the charges.
I don't know how this court can look at those videos and say beyond a reasonable doubt that Mr. Lugo was not acting in defense of others or in defense of himself. The videos are clear. I will say that Ms. Rourke's testimony, I believe, should be completely thrown out.
The state argues that Rourke was trying to de-escalate a situation and that Lugo's actions were unreasonable.
To throw 2 strikes to a woman's head is not reasonable. Even if her hands are out in front of her, you can easily push her away.
So the judge said that there was just not enough evidence to move forward with that disorderly conduct charge. Lawyers will meet next week to pick the next date for this trial to pick back up. Both Lugo and Rourke declined to comment to reporters outside of court. Live in Providence, Alexandra Leslie, 12 News.